Hi everyone, Rhonda without an H here. I have a fun flip through that I would love to share with you today. If you recall, those of you that follow me and watch my videos, I recently did one that making fabric paper, paper fabric, and you saw that I made this. That's what this is. And I promised that I would show you a project that I made with that. And this is what it is. This is the front. Let's see, how can we do this so that you can see it all? Anyway, this is the front. Here is, and I have done this Midori style. You can't see very well, but I've got white little eyelets. Are they called eyelets? What are they called? Anyway, and I have a light pink. It obviously needed to be pink accents because this paper, fabric paper that I made, has a lot of pink in it. Anyway, I just think it's beautiful and I wanted to share this with you. And I put a pink ribbon to tie it together. So let's go inside. Let's take a peek. All right. How is the best way? Is this better? Does that show up better? These larger projects, it's a little bit more tricky. All right. This is done, and I have videos on putting these together, how I make my covers, how I make these journals, actually. I have videos on my YouTube channel that you can peruse through and find, and I'll put some links in this one as well. But I had a beautiful piece of a tablecloth, a vintage tablecloth that I cut and created for the inside. I added batting so it has that puffy. I didn't do anything with this. I mean, obviously I did a lot to it to create it, but I loved it as it is, and I didn't want to take away from this the texture and just the deliciousness of it. So I did my padding and that kind of thing on the inside. And this is my style. This is what I do. My mixed media, where I combine fabrics, papers, laces, embellishments, just some yumminess. I have created a pocket. And this particular journal, I just decided to go with the sewing theme. I love stitching. I don't quilt much anymore, but I still adore it. And I have many things that I have quilted over the years. And I have about a bazillion quilt tops that have never been quilted, that I'm waiting to become a millionaire so I can afford to have somebody quilt them for me. Okay. And so, a reminder on the Midori style, you can take all these books out if you want and redo. All right, so here we have a fun little, now I have not done this before personally, and I have to give credit to Crafty Irina for the magnet. Watched one of her videos, and I'll put a link down below so that you can go to that. But as you can see, I mean, I just love to put different textures. I've got rickrack, I've got the thin pattern paper that you cut out dresses and things with. I've got an old, I have old images. These are pieces of old vintage lace that I've collected. Stitching, some gluing, not a lot of gluing. I mainly like to stitch. Handkerchiefs, embroidery work, those things I love. And I also have pockets. Now, I don't have any paper in the pockets yet, but you can see just by this is really quite sturdy. And this is made from the lunch sacks, the white lunch sacks that I like to put together. Sewing is my passion. I printed out on a fabric sheet some things, some words that I wanted to include, and then cut those out. And this one is different in that, and actually, you guys, this has taken me the longest time that I've ever put on any journal, into any journal, because I have also included, since it's a sewing theme, I've done my own little tiny blocks. This is a 9 patch out of fabric. We've got some lace, you can journal a little bit here, but most of your journaling is going to be papers in here or with the inserts that I have that I'll show you as we go through this. This is fun. Just a little pull out, tip out. Here we have a waterfall. I like to do these, and I'm going to be doing a video on how to do these. It was requested by one of my subscribers. So I have included vintage fabrics. Here's some old music sheets for journaling here. This is a part of a handkerchief with the lace. I love to use those in my work when I can find them. A nice bit of fabric that I've frayed on. This is netting, pink netting. And of course, all of my decorative pages have pockets in them, so you can stuff all kinds of papers or pictures, whatever you would like to put in your journal. Okay. This is the evening star pattern. This is a, well, let's see, just a minute. Okay. Now, if I had stitched this is for a finished 3-inch block. And had I stitched this in with other quilting, with other fabrics, it would be a 3-inch block. But I trimmed it just a little bit bigger than that so that you could see the points. When you stitch in with other fabrics, your points match up to other blocks. So it's a small paper piece block that I did. And by the way, I love paper piecing as well. This is a beautiful, I love these tags. Oops, sorry. That's my phone. Some old, some type of an inventory system cards that I found at some kind of junk or estate sale or something, and that I have added some paints and paper and images and lace and stitching. And here is my glassine bag. This is part of a handkerchief. Just beautiful, beautiful things that I love to include. Okay, here we have, I got a hold of, I don't know how it happened, but it was at a garage sale somewhere. And there was this marvelous old Braille book. And that's what this is from the old Braille. It's just amazing to feel that. So I have included some old ledger papers and some regular papers. And you can do a ton of journaling in here. Plus, you can put pictures and journaling in the pockets here as well. So it's wonderful that way. Here is another paper pieced. This is paper pieced flower. I found this pattern in a magazine many years ago, and I paper pieced like crazy this design in many of my quilting things. I love it. Just odds and ends of lace, edging, doilies and whatnot, stitching, more handkerchiefs. This is also a handkerchief. This is cheesecloth. And cheesecloth is kind of a fun thing to work with. And I like it too because it's kind of airy, gives a light feel, and if you kind of scrunch it up a little bit, it's more interesting. And so instead of like when this first laid down here, it just laid out flat. And so I just kind of like, you know, and scrunched it, and it just makes it prettier. Okay. This is my own design, my own paper piece pattern. For a period of time, I made my own patterns. I was going to market them and then, didn't. But this is a fun one, and I've done this in many different sizes. And actually, you guys, to do this 3-inch paper piece little tree like this takes approximately an hour or so just to do the one little block. My stitching journey. Just love these things together. And here we have a lovely vintage lady on some lace. More vintage lace underneath. More pattern paper. Odds and ends. I love the eyelash lace that you can buy, the yarn. I guess it's yarn, isn't it? It's just so fun. Here again, we have a paper pieced flying geese pattern that I have created. Super fun, and the texture, it's just been really fun for me to go back and to make some quilting blocks that I've added into my journal here for you. More vintage images, stamps, papers, lace, doilies, dictionary pages, etc., etc. And here again is a repeat of the other booklet. And I believe I have 12 Yes, I have 12 sheets of paper, well, plus the cover, but that you can write and journal in. 12 times 4 is 48, times 2 is 96? 96 journaling pages, plus you've got the pockets that you can put tons of paper in. And here is my last pocket. These vintage doilies that I picked up, I'm going to be so sad when they're all gone because they're just amazing. And I have no idea how to create something like that. Lace, edging, handkerchiefs, fabrics, old buttons, stitching, and more of the same. Different, but the same. More edgings, lace, another pocket. Put treasures in. And then here we have a little lace pocket from Vintage Lace, and underneath is the same. More images. And this is an old needle case. I haven't put any needles in there, but I think I will. Just fun. And my last block that I did was a log cabin. This is a 3-inch paper piece log cabin block. And they're time consuming, but they are fun. This is just, I have just kind of put, this is a lot of me in this, and I really love the paper. I love the theme. I love it. And I hope you love it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you'll get some ideas to do some delicious things yourself. I am going to be starting a Facebook group that we do this kind of thing in there, and others. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm like the amazing guru on any of this, for sure, but I do love these kinds of things, and so I will add links when we're ready to go live on that. That's in the works, so keep that in mind. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I would love that. It's fun to have wonderful friends with like-minded ideas and thoughts. Comment. I answer all of my comments. I try to get to them within a day or two, depending. So have a wonderful, fabulous day, and thank you again for watching. Bye now.